So, oh my goodness, last week it was just a bunch of unexpected things that came up. I was trying to rest for the weekend. I don't remember where I had gone. That I just really, really wanted to rest. I was exhausted, and I got a call from my sister-in-law saying that she knows how much my daughter Stephanie loves bunnies, and they had like a petting zoo for bunnies, pigs, and chicks. So it was near my house. So I said, well, I'm not gonna go now, but I'll most likely take her later. My daughter's wanted a bunny forever, but different things held us back. Well, at first it was my cat had just died. We didn't know if we could, take on or didn't want to take on another pet. And Buddy just barks at anything and anyone that comes near us. He's very jealous. So we didn't want him to scare the bunny to death, because we had an opportunity about a year and a half ago or so, and we just decided against it. So I remember telling Stephanie, well, if we ever, get our own home, which is of course everybody's dream, I said, when we move out of Texas, and then we could think about that, but just like right now, we just weren't ready for it. So, my sister-in-law, she's what's the word? She's very resourceful, and she looks into a lot of things to find good deals. And anyway, she knew how much Stephanie loved bunnies, and she told us to we should go. So it ended at 4. So by the time I got ready, and because it takes me an hour to get ready. So by the time I got ready, because I put on a full face of makeup, and by the time we all got dressed and drive up there, it was really close by. We got there a little bit before 3, and we couldn't find where this petting zoo was. And because of my arthritis is just getting worse and worse. It is degenerative, and there was no way I could walk around because of the pain. So especially since I'm not supposed to take any anti-inflammatories because of my blood thinners, so it's just been really bad. And so she finally found them, and she came to get me. My son and her helped me walk over. It's on grass, it's uneven ground, and, on your hips, that's murder. When we got there, they had taken the bunnies away, and we were like, wait, we want to see the bunnies. And they said, oh no, it's not auction, raffle time. We were like, what? Since we had just gotten there, they made us sign a waiver. I thought we were signing up for the bunnies. Well, they had given away chicks, and then it came time for the bunnies. They had 10 bunnies, and Stephanie saw the tortoiseshell ones, and she was like, oh, I want to win. And they're not calling our names. They're not calling. I was just praying, God, please let them call our name. And then after I found out we weren't signing for the raffle, we were signing a waiver. My daughter was hysterical. So I spoke to my sister-in-law. I said, because I think she grew up on a farm, if I'm not mistaken. That's just she was telling me. Like I said, she's resourceful, and I remember once she told me about a bunny that needed a home. So I asked her, how can I find a bunny that is really low cost or even free? Because sometimes people just want to give away. And so she, she's in all of those types of groups and stuff, newsletters, Facebook pages. And then she told me some guy is trying to get rid of his bunnies. And I called around. I called Animal Control. I called Petco. I don't deal with PetSmart anymore after what they did to me with Juju. So, and I called the ASPCA because I heard they get bunnies in. And so they said they had 3 bunnies. One was 6 months, I think, and the rest were a year, maybe 3. And it was $25, I think. So, we were thinking about it. They really didn't have pictures, so we would have had to go over there. Anyway, that was Monday when I called all those people up, and plus I had some things I needed to take care of, like my pills. My pills, I just take longer and longer to do things now as I'm getting older. And, my pills take a lot of time to do now because I must have about 20 to 25 pills that I have to put in a pill box. So, this is every day, twice a day. So, I got to make sure I'm getting my heart pills, I'm getting the blood thinners, and so, I just have to make sure I'm getting that every day. And so that's what I was doing Monday. I was taking time on my pills, I was making phone calls, I was doing some stuff, around the house. And Tuesday, my kids had an appointment, and unfortunately their clinic closed down, and they relocated like a 45-minute drive away. I call it Timbuktu. I was so tired that I've been there maybe 4 times, but I'm still not 100% sure how to get there because the signs aren't really precise. So I got lost, and then we had to spend like half the day there. I get ready in the mornings. I spend a long time there because sometimes you have to meet the financial person, the caseworker, on and on. They told us we had to see the caseworker, and then we're sitting there for like 15-20 minutes, and they said, no, you could go home. But, then on the way home, we went up through Alvin, and then from Alvin, I went to Walmart because I was looking to see if any Walmart had the big displays of the fantasy makers. So, I was exhausted by the time I got home. And I told my daughter, look, the guy who's trying to get rid of his bunnies for 15, he hasn't called me. And then my sister-in-law put up a post saying anybody, knows where we can get a bunny for my sister-in-law's, daughter. And oh my goodness, everybody's just like bombarding. A couple of people said I'm selling mine for 25. But a lot of people were saying, oh, it's a lot of responsibility, and then it's his Easter time, and people wind up turning in their rabbits within the next month or 2 because they can't handle it. As hysterical as my daughter was, my daughter's been researching rabbits for at least 5 years, so she was ready for this. As hysterical as she was, I knew it was time. We were thinking about going up to... there's a fairground, Trader Village. They sell rabbits there. I think they were 25, but we're talking like 5 years ago. I haven't been there in 5 years. So they could be up to 40 now, and they usually give you, I think, a free thing of food. I think they might give you a free bag of hay as well. So we were going to go up there. I think my brother's going over there this weekend. There's a convention there. So we were going to go up with him when he went. But the guy finally called me that Wednesday, so I was out Sunday. I was very busy Monday. Tuesday, I was out all day. And then Wednesday, he gives me the call, and it is raining, and I've got to do some paperwork. And I was like, oh, okay, look, can we meet at 4? At least this way I knew I could do my paperwork and then I didn't even put on makeup. I was just so exhausted. I just put on some foundation and the tiniest bit of mascara. That's it. Oh yeah, and concealer. That's it. And so he said fine, and I said, do you want me to go where you live? I mean, I was going with my son and my daughter. I figured this guy must have a farm, or do you want to meet somewhere? So he said, let's meet somewhere. And in the picture, he had all different color rabbits. I said, can you bring all... He said, I have 3 left. I thought that he had those 3 ones and my daughter can choose, but I didn't read the small print that said we have 3 rabbits left. So they were 5-week-old bunnies, and they were only $15, and I had 15... I usually don't carry cash, but I had a 10 and a 5 in my bag. And I said, okay. So I went there, and I think he might have got there at the same time, or he was already there. And he said, look, he texted me. He said, I have knee surgery, because we were texting each other. My sister-in-law set that up. Thank God for my sister-in-law. And so we, when we get there, he texts me, says, look, you're going to have to come to the car because I had knee surgery. Oh, she let you pick her up?
Not really, but...
Oh, she's so precious. Yeah, I'm a proud grandmother. I'm I'm a proud grandmother. Anyway, he said when we got there, and of course, my son went to the car with my daughter. I was in the seat. I had the car right there next to his. I had the car still had it on, and he said, I had knee surgery. I can't come out of the car, but I brought the bunnies in a bag. And what a lot of people were complaining about was, oh, don't get them from breeders. They don't really care. And I think it's true. They're just doing it for the money. But we didn't know. All I know is that my daughter was completely heartbroken, and it's not the first time she's cried over getting a rabbit, and I felt it was time. So he had the 3, and they were all white with gray ears, gray nose, gray little cottontail. He just picked. They say you have to pick them up by the scruff to immobilize them so they don't run, but that was like bothering me. He just said, here, look, and they're all the same. And I'm telling my daughter, choose. And she said she couldn't. They were all the same. They were sleeping. She didn't want to interrupt them. I'm like, we can't stay here waiting for them to wake. He just grabbed one and said, here, and put it in her arms. When he put that little baby bunny in her arms, it was as if she had just given birth. She came into the car, and she was... It's like that overwhelming feeling when you give birth. That overwhelming feeling of love that you never knew existed in this world. That's how she was. She was so happy. I never seen her like that. Me and my son were just so happy that she was happy. OMG. I'm like even a little bit emotional talking about it. None of my kids want kids, so this is like my grandbaby now. So we got out we have 3 dog cages, a little one, a medium-sized one, a big one, and my son was in the garage trying to get to it because they were in the back. They got the cages. My son, on the way home, my son went to get food because, of course, that's the utmost important thing, is feeding them. So, I saved almost everything from my dogs and my cat, except one thing. I wish I hadn't given it away. It was like a little tiny teepee kind of house that they could go in there, and I gave it away because we didn't have cats anymore. But we still had the litter box. We still had the bowls. So my daughter we were all stressing out because we wanted this bunny to be comfortable, and she hooked up. It took us days, but she hooked up this bunny, so oh my goodness. So we were kind of stressed out because we knew we had to get hay, had to get the rabbit pellets, and on and on. And so I was calling around. I mean, the guy was really cool. He linked me to where he gets it out in Alvin, but I didn't want to drive out to Alvin. So the next day, again, all I wanted to do was rest. But, we had to get the proper stuff for this rabbit. So we got it a water bottle. We got it a mineral lick. We got it everything that it needed the next day. So here I'm just doing something every single day. And I was like, I was planning on doing the video Wednesday or Thursday, but I just didn't have a chance. It was just like, we just got it everything it needed. We went out. My husband actually took a half day off. My son's, they changed my son's medication, so we had to go back out to Timbuktu. So I just didn't have time because it was just last minute things we had to do. And then Friday my husband took off. The DeLorean, I don't think it's the actual DeLorean, but the Space Museum, Space Center had a travel display, and they had the DeLorean. They had all the science fiction stuff. They had the Terminator. They had the Alien. They had the shoes from Back to the Future. They had the skateboard from Back to the Future. Again, I don't know if it's the actual ones, but my son wanted so bad to see this DeLorean, and my husband doesn't like to be home when he's off. It was Good Friday, so I said, well, let's do that. And so that's what we did, and they said you're allowed to take pictures. He works on property, so my husband just wants to be away. And so we went out there, and they said you can't go in the door. It is gated off. But my son is tall, and he just went over the gate and went in. And took a picture, and we were, my daughter's like, we gotta get out of here. We're gonna get arrested. But by that time, because I think they closed at 6, I think it was already 5, so most of the people had left, so nobody ratted us out. it was just a non-stop thing. Then Saturday was my niece's quinceañera. It was just, and it wasn't nothing big. It was just a small, in her mom's house. But she looked so cute. She looked like this fairy princess. I mean, my niece looked so cute, and she was so happy. And so we were there for a few hours. So I mean, I was exhausted. And then Sunday, again, it's Easter. We do something. Anytime that my husband can get off the property. So we decided to see a movie. Before I tell you what happened at the theater,